What was your biggest "we need to leave now" moment? If you enjoy the video, please make sure to consider subscribing. Enjoy. When I was 15, a friend and I went for a lot of walks around town. Small town. Around 5-6k people. We were going to the cyber cafe in town to meet a few friends, and we often took different streets to get places, just to keep it interesting. We were about to go to Main Street off one of the side streets, and a man on a bicycle approached us. He got off his bike and asked us a couple small talk questions. Something didn't seem right about him. He was probably mid-40s. We both kept inching away but didn't want to come off as too rude, so we answered about the weather or traffic. Then he paused and we said we had to go, and he said, and I'll never forget it, "You look so young. I don't want to get in trouble, but I need to touch someone. I just need to touch you. You should come with me." And he started rambling. I just felt terror. Couldn't even speak. I grabbed my friend's hand and turned. We sprinted the rest of the way to the cafe, and as soon as we were inside we asked to use the phone. I called my mom to pick us up while my friend told the worker what happened and what the guy looked like. A month later I got my first cell phone. You are allowed to be rude when someone is bothering you, but trust your gut as to what the right thing to do is. A couple of friends and I were outside a house party talking. I noticed out of the corner of my eye something dark behind some bushes towards the end of the block. Maybe 4 houses down. It was dark out, so it was hard to tell. We stood there a bit long and I swore I saw something again move to a tree a little closer. This wasn't the best neighborhood. Heck, my whole hometown isn't the safest. And I knew a couple people at the party were involved in some stuff, so I don't know if that entered my mind or what, but I got immediate goosebumps. I said, "Let's go now." A couple of my friends looked at me weird, but later one told me they knew by the look on my face something was up. I apparently looked possessed. I had my keys, so we ran to my car and got in. I didn't even let anyone get their seatbelts on. I just hit the gas. Based on the news stories, less than probably 5 minutes later a group of people shot up the house we were at. The others standing outside were severely injured or killed. Turns out a couple guys at the party were thought to have killed someone's family member, and it was a revenge thing. This was over 20 years ago, and I still get nervous if I'm standing around outside, especially if it's dark. I was in college when I had my first solo apartment. This guy across the hall would come over, or invite me over, and we'd hang out a few times. However, I would not call him a friend. One night he asks me to loan him some money. In addition to not wanting to loan him money, I don't really have any. So he proceeds to ask for a ride to see his girlfriend because she has some money for him. I agree. We arrive at her apartment and a small party is going on. When we walked into the party, everyone immediately shuts up and stares at us. He runs off to find his girlfriend, who I find out is his ex-girlfriend. It is awkward because I'm kind of this guy's friend by association, and I'm getting lots of angry stares. He gets into an argument with her and we are basically thrown out of this place. He then asks if I can take him to another part of town. He owes another guy some money and needs to go talk to him. We proceed to an unfamiliar part of town, and he instructs me to park in a fairly isolated spot. He explains that he doesn't want the other guy to see my car, because he might take it he owes this guy money for gambling or drugs or something else bad, and he is way behind on his payments. I left him and spent the rest of my time in that apartment avoiding him. By left him you mean completely abandoned him where you parked? You made the right choice. Yeah, I just left him and didn't look back. About 2 months ago I'd stayed up past my usual bedtime, and as soon as I got in bed I smelled something odd and was hearing some inconsistent banging and clattering from downstairs. I don't live in a great neighborhood, so none of this was unusual, but I got out of bed to check anyway and saw flames licking up the side of the building. Yelled at my wife to get out of bed and threw on some clothes, and we hightailed it out. Our building has a shared wall with the next, and that one had an apartment on the ground floor fully engulfed by the time we made it outside. Ended up condemning the whole building. I was the first one to call 911. Have been jerking myself awake in the night pretty consistently since then. I don't live in a great neighborhood. When I was 7, our next door neighbor came pounding on our front door to scream at and threaten to kill my dad because our pet that we kept in our backyard was being too loud. The pet was a rabbit. Life can just be weird at times. Grocery shopping with my grandma. She's tired. Normal for her, but she's getting a bit slower and dragging her leg more than usual. At the checkout counter I saw her face was a little droopy and I said we are leaving now and going to ER. They gave her a bottle of water for the car ride which she ended up choking on and vomiting up all the water. Called ahead to ER so they were ready and they took care of her ASAP. She was having a stroke and they were able to help her quick enough so that she didn't have any long-lasting issues. Remember fast. Face. Smile and see if one side of the face droops. Arms. Raise both arms. Does one arm drop down? Speech. Say a short phrase and check for slurred or strange speech. Time. If the answer to any of these is yes, call 911 right away and write down the time when symptoms started. Congrats, you made it to the end. Here's an awesome deal. If you share this with 5 people you will have good luck for the next week. Also please make sure to subscribe for more epic Reddit videos like these. I'll see you very soon.